I've been uploading Souls content for 8 months now, and I recently finished Elden Ring. I didn't enjoy my time with Elden Ring, and I don't like the direction Fromsoft is going. Fromsoft is changing, and so is the content on my channel. But before I get to that, I want to talk about what Souls games I've played before Elden Ring. The first Souls game I've played was Bloodborne. Bloodborne is easily one of my favorite games because of its gothic atmosphere and its gameplay mechanics like the trick weapons and the rally system. The next game on the list was Demon Souls, a simple game that had somewhat of a challenge. It's still simple, and it was a nice breath of fresh air, and I really enjoyed my time with Demon Souls. I was recommended Dark Souls 1 afterward. I honestly thought I was going to have a harder time with Dark Souls 1, but I ended up having a blast with it. Easily one of my favorite games, if not better than Bloodborne. And then there was Dark Souls 2. A game I hated before, but since I replayed it, my opinion changed a lot. But I still hate Iron Keep. I think FromSoft put more passion into these older titles than in their newer games like Elden Ring. And when I was playing Bloodborne and Demon Souls, I did not want to be a Souls content creator. I only played those games because those were games I enjoyed. Now, let's get into why I don't like Elden Ring, because there are a few reasons. The first reason is that the second half of the game is not as good as the first half. And when I mean the second half, I mean after Morgoth the Omenkin. People say this about Dark Souls 1, but with me, I actually like Dark Souls 1 from start to finish. But in Elden Ring's case, this isn't the case. I said case twice in the same sentence. I think the second half of Elden Ring is when it starts to get unfair and unbalanced. And almost every boss in this game has a second phase, which is lazy and unnecessary. Look at the older games. Not every boss has a phase 2. Even Demon Souls has one boss that has more than one phase, that being the Dragon God. And there's even some comments that agree with me on this. Starting with the first comment that the crafting system isn't good in the game and the game isn't balanced. Well, for the crafting system, yes, the crafting system is pretty bad, but you need a crafting system in an RPG. It's like a tactical shooter not having guns. You need guns in a tactical shooter. You need a crafting system in an RPG, even if it's bad. And as for the whole game being unbalanced, I think that you mostly see it in the second half of the game. And another unfair part, someone said, are the Fire Knights in the DLC. But I'll get to the DLC in a bit. However, it's not all bad though. There are some things I can say I like Elden Ring. The first thing is that there are a lot of tools you can use to beat the game with. You can have daggers, you can have a sword and shield, you can go dual katanas, you can fire ballistic bolts, you can hurl fireballs, you can even summon a whole black hole. Elden Ring has a lot, and its open world can help you get those earlier. Elden Ring's open world allows you to go through, if you're struggling on a boss, per se, you can go to anywhere. Well, not anywhere, but you can go to harder areas to get stuff to help you. And I think this is really nice, and they should have done this earlier. And when the DLC was announced, I was expecting to like it, but I do not like the DLC. In fact, I think that Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 are a much better purchase than the Elden Ring DLC. The Scudura Tree fragment mechanic is stupid, and I shouldn't have to go around the whole map to collect these things. Yes, you don't have to collect them, but if you don't, you deal little to no damage, and you die in one hit. That's why I didn't play it the second time around, because I don't like the DLC. When Night Rain was released, I wasn't optimistic about this at all, and it should have been a DLC rather than a standalone game. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think Night Rain was better off as a DLC, or do you think it's good now as a separate game? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to talk about From Software's direction next. In Elden Ring, I think that the bosses feel more like Bloodborne when they're really quick, when you have the moveset of Demon Souls, when you're really slow. I just think that it's not fun or fair to me, because I feel like the boss and the player should have equalized moveset, like in Bloodborne, for example. And the sad thing is, I don't think they will stop this cycle. This will continue on for a long while. And also another thing that will continue for a long while are console exclusive Souls games, like Bloodborne and Demon Souls, and then Dustbloods. We'll see how well Dustbloods does. And I don't think Fromsoft doesn't care about balancing the weapons in all Souls games, actually. There is at least one weapon in every Souls game that just seems like the best weapon. But in Elden Ring, I can think of multiple. The Moonveil, the Rivers of Blood, Blasphemous Blade, and Mogwin's Sacred Spear. I think these are the 4 most broken weapons I've ever seen. And the thing is, they don't really seem to care. And it's unfortunate. And even in PvP, it doesn't even seem fun to fight. Because if you see someone with 2 Rivers of Bloods, or with a Blasphemous Blade, you're not going to have a fun time. So, since I'm done, what content am I going to provide now? Well, I'm overhauling the content. I'm going to do a lot more than just playing games. Because I think playing games just every week, it burns you out. I want to have some variety. But I will still play games. But instead, I'm going to play games that I'm either enjoying or interested in. One of those games is Payday 2. A classic heisting game where you basically go and rob stuff, basically. Like, you can rob a bank, you can rob a train, you can rob a warehouse, you can even rob Scarface Mansion. There's nothing stopping you. And this game is chaotic, but it's the fun chaotic. Like, you don't know what's going on half of the time. And also, another piece of content I want to introduce. Since I love space, I want to read in NASA articles. Now, I'm only going to be using NASA's public domain, like what they give to the public. And they do not endorse or support the content or myself. I'm only doing this for entertainment purposes and for commentary purposes only. All the credit goes to NASA for the articles. And there will be something in the description for that, for every video like that as well. And also, I want to make a video what I'm doing right now. Just simply talking what is on my mind. But nothing like personal. Just like something like this, like From Software's direction and just trying to get out of the Souls games. You probably still have one last question. Could you still play Souls games? The answer, unlikely, but not 0. I'm not targeting Souls games. I think Souls games are pretty impressive. And I do think there are some of the best games ever made. But I just don't think these games include mostly Elden Ring. I guess I wasn't interested in that. And I just want to break out of it. I want to thank everyone for the support. Whether you're a viewer, subscriber, if you commented, any form of support, I thank you. And I encourage you to follow me down this path. But if you don't want to, or if you don't like the new content, there's no hard feelings. I completely understand. And even if you unsubscribe because I'm not providing you the content you want, that's fine too. It's your choice, not mine. And before I say goodbye, I want to go over with you the monthly schedule, because I did make a monthly schedule and I want all of us to be on the same page. So week 1 of a month will be a gaming video, a Payday video, whether it's live commentary or slightly scripted like this. Whatever I'm in the mood for at that time. Week 2 will be a NASA article. I'll just go through a NASA article, maybe a couple NASA articles, and I'll just simply talk about it. Like, what's my perspective on it? Week 3 is the same as week 1 with a gaming video. And week 4, I like to call the wild card week. Basically, you people can choose what I do, whether it's a gaming video, a NASA video, or just me talking about what's on my mind, or the 4th option is letting me spin the wheel. I want you people to be more part of this channel than just the polling questions about, like, what's the hardest boss in Souls, or what's your favorite season. I want this to kind of be like a community effort. And one last thing, remember, we can reach for the stars while keeping our feet on the ground. Once again, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching. And if this new content intrigues you, consider subscribing. But this new content will be happening in August. I want to do it on a new month, new me, new content. I don't know what the next few videos are going to be. I have no clue. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.